morning, Chatterbox. Today is Tuesday, August 1st. Getting towards the end of summer. I can't believe it. Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Good morning, host.
It is a great day. Oh, wait, hold on. My dad's calling. Should I put him on speakerphone to talk about weather? Never mind. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that later. So what's going on in life?
Nothing.
Almost nothing because you're at school, man.
Hey, how was that golf game on the weekend, Thomas?
It was a pretty good weekend. Overall, finished middle of the pack. It's tough. There was 88 teams in that tournament. I was
all right. Loser. That's loser talk. I don't want to hear about it. Anthony.
77, 87, 78. Those were the three scores.
I wanted to hear 378s.
Wrong.
Should have came in hard with it and said, it's shot a 67. Going on pro tour.
Nobody would believe that. They'd be like, Tom Burka, you're a liar. I can't trust you for business or anything.
Oh, speaking of this, though, I know you only Fridays you spend it in the office on the golf course. I'm hearing a new thing from the new generation, time blindness. Some people have time blindness. They just can't make it on time. They get lost up in the day, and they feel like that they should have some precautions in place, that it's not their fault that they're always late. They have time blindness.
I feel zero empathy for that time blindness person.
I don't think they'd work at West Penn Financial. That's all I'd say about that.
They wouldn't be able to work for me, nor would they be able to get a tee time with me because I require my guy to be there 15 minutes before so we're not scrambling.
Did anyone see the viral video of the German dude yesterday yelling at his girlfriend because she was 4 minutes late and he couldn't be in a relationship with her? No? Oh, no. My God. I'll have to send it to the chat. It was so funny. This guy.
We pull it up on YouTube here. We side screen this.
We're not getting that technical. Yeah, that was pretty funny yesterday.
I didn't see it. Yeah, send that in the chat.
All right, work. And I hear the jet skis are coming out this week. Is this true?
That's a big possibility there, my friend.
Yeah.
They haven't been out all year. Just sitting there.
You got to get them up to that big lake ocean.
I know. I'd love to take them out on the actual ocean water, man. I think that would be phenomenal.
No, you wouldn't. Nope.
I'd love it.
Nope. Did that once in Myrtle Beach. You start in the intercoastal, then you go out to the ocean. Nope. Waves are too big in the ocean with a jet ski. You better have goggles on. You better have a butt brace. It was insanity.
I don't know, man. I dig that stuff. I'd love that stuff, man. Okay. Jumping the waves and hanging out, but just going from the dark water to the clear blue water, I think it'd be an experience for sure. I think it'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, maybe we should do a GoFundMe. Get Anthony.
No, nothing.
Get Anthony to the ocean.
Just takes time, man. Takes time.
You can get down there on your big President's Club trip at the end of the year.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. So, boys, let's get into some mortgage talk. Debt to income ratio is going to be our topic today. I know we get a lot of phone calls, right? I just have no idea what I can qualify for. And of course you don't. That's what our job is. It's very complex and it isn't easy, but we can talk about debt to income ratio because that is the number that's used to calculate a buyer. And we can talk a little bit on how to calculate income because you would think every buyer is full-time with one job, easy peasy to calculate income. But even real estate agents, for you guys, your income is, difficult to calculate because of being self-employed. And a lot of buyers are self-employed or they switched jobs or they went from hourly to salary or salary to hourly or part-time to full-time or seasonal to, part-time, whatever it may be. There's so many different job situations going on, especially with COVID in our rearview mirror. that we have to look into. And a lot of times it's not as easy as, hey, I've been at the same job for 10 years. Here's my salary. Let's go. If that's the case, usually qualifying is a little bit easier. But the first thing we do really when we're doing a pre-approval after we get basic information, date of birth, social address, all that fun stuff is who do you work for? How long have you been there? And how are you paid? Those are very, very important questions. How are you paid? Because that is a question that is overlooked, that is very important. And I know, Tom, you have this a lot. Someone will say, I make X amount of dollars a year. That's not a good enough answer to the question.
No, that doesn't work for me. To an extent, I can use that possibly just thinking to myself, trying to get you qualified. But we really need to see the breakdown of how you're paid, the different terms. And so you get base, you could have overtime, you could have bonus, you have commission. So those are the four different things. I actually turned a file in yesterday, which had three different categories. So I had my base, which you are allowed to use that base hourly wage. Depending if they work 40 hours a week, you could qualify off that. And then this guy actually got overtime as well as a bonus. So for the overtime, I had to go back and look at the last 2 years as well as his year-to-date overtime and average that out. And I actually did it to the end of July. So I used 31 months because we have 2 years of the 24 months plus 7 months. So I averaged that overtime out by the 31 months, as well as the bonus. I had to add a bonus up for the last 2 years as well as the year to date to get that. So I actually had three different incomes for one guy, totaling up his total income factored in the debt to income ratio.
Yep. And I think that's the biggest thing. Again, I'm going to talk about the biggest, most important a lot today, just because it's so important, is when an underwriter looks at income, they do break it down in those sections. So if you have a big variable of bonus, let's say from 1 year to the next, that's not always able to be used, or that might have to be averaged. And like, hey, I just started a new job and they gave me a bonus of $20,000 and I never received a bonus in my life before. More than likely, you're not going to be able to count that bonus towards their income. And that could be a huge difference in what they think they've made for the year. So we need a pay stub. Or if you don't want a pay stub, at least at pre-approval, West Penn has an AI-backed system, right? We can do artificial intelligence in the mortgage industry to get verification of employment and income. Sometimes it's up to your employer. There's national systems. Sometimes employers are on, sometimes employers aren't. If buyers for verification of assets, if they don't want to give documents, we can use AI or paperless systems to get secure information right to them. So I know there's a big difference between, hey, some buyers like all the paper, some buyers like no paper. Sometimes you can do things electronically or not, but when you're doing your pre-approval, what's the easiest way for you to collect those documents, or are you seeing buyers getting you the information out there?
I mean, the easiest way is to, upload it to our secure portal. It truly is. People can fax as well, but I'm surprised with everything that we have, fax is still available. But okay, it's a tool, it's there. But we can get it fax, secure email, document upload through our secure portal. And if need be, if those options aren't available, we can meet the client in person to review those documents. We try to make it as easy as possible, especially if you're self-employed, because we definitely need tax returns if you're 1099 or self-employed, so we can average that income properly.
Yeah, but so once as you can see, calculating income is important, a big part. Once we get that income calculated, then we have to look at all of the debts on your credit plus the new mortgage payment, and that's how we can calculate what you qualify for. Each loan type has a different debt to income ratio. That's why sometimes when we say, hey, a buyer can go FHA, but they can't go conventional, it's because you can qualify for a higher debt to income ratio than you can conventional, and you can't just, that buyer can't get qualified for enough house on a conventional loan. So that's part of it, what we're doing. But you need to be able to calculate your income or have an idea of what your gross income is. And again, we use gross income. Why? I don't know. Those are the mortgage guidelines. None of us see gross income. Uncle Sam keeps getting his hand in that cookie jar more and more and more and more these days. But we do get to use the gross income. And like crazy guidelines, if you're self-employed and you've been self-employed for 5 years or more, you can use 1 year of tax documents instead of 2 years. So there's some real estate agents out there, if you've been in the business longer, and we can use, last year's income, or if you've just started, we would need that full 2 years. So that's the crazy stuff by Mrs. Burko. Have a great day. So yeah, it's very important, but to have at least a pay stub to us while we're getting you pre-approved, or give us verification that we're allowed to look into your income and employment verification through our tools we have, that's the best way to do it, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, having those tools, I mean, I know you're doing the one now, guinea pigging it, and having those tools and being able to do that and help these buyers out is definitely game changer in how fast we get these done for them.
But again, a lot of it depends on their employer, right? There's a lot of national electronic web-based systems out there that can help buyers through the process. But sometimes the process is only for a conventional loan, or sometimes it's only if the employer is on the one site, or if the buyer banks electronically. So we have a lot of tools, but also it depends on each buyer scenario what we can use and can't use.
Yeah. I think it's crazy, some of those electronic verifications. This is a little off topic, but that I was talking to my buddy Brooks, and he works for a larger company, HR. They have to pay for the work number for every user every month as well. And then we also have to pay to pull their number off there. So we need to get in that middleman business, right?
Yeah, working on it. Hey, if you got anything to finish up, I mean, hey, Tom, if we need a middleman, I know a guy. You're muted. You're muted, Anthony. Unmute yourself.
The debt ratio is a very important part. I mean, there's so many clients out there that listen to so many other people about financing and what they can buy that don't really know, because they don't have the information, but they're asking the wrong questions to the wrong person. So talk to your financial person, give one of us a call. We can actually dive deep into your income and let you know truly what you can afford. I saw a post this morning, guys, and it said like, hey, if you make $52,000 a year, you can afford $160,000 purchase price. And I'm looking at it like, I don't even know how you're calculating that, because you don't know anything about the client. You don't know their debts. You don't know their income, like their true income. But yeah, get the true facts and the actual, numbers from a financial professional.
So you just don't multiply your salary by 2 and that's what you can afford?
No. And it's unfortunately, a lot of people get a lot of bad info. And then the unfortunate part is when they do come to us, they're like, oh, well, I was talking to so-and-so and they said I could do this. Unfortunately, so-and-so doesn't know your personal financials. They're not seeing what we're seeing. So, but yeah, I mean, it's all good topics. I mean, it's very important.
We'll get into the debt side of things on Friday, because that's a whole nother thing, right? Most buyers don't even have any clue what is on their credit and what is a debt against them. Mm-hmm. They don't know their minimum payment. They don't know if they're paying on it or if it's in deferment. And if it is in deferment, if we in the mortgage world have to count some sort of payment or not. So, cool, you opened up a can of worms. That's Friday, special guest Friday. The King of the South. So we will talk debts. See you boys then. Have a great day.
See you guys.
Ciao.